Hey, John. Brandon said today that when he talked to Zac Lowther, he talked about you and kind of an example there. Um, Keegan Aiken has said that he kind of uses your career trajectory and your success as an inspiration. I think it's too simple to say that if John Means can do it, anybody can do it. But given your situation, given what you've gone through, how much do you embrace being kind of that example now after being overlooked for so long that you're the guy that everyone looks at as kind of an inspiration that can get it done?
Yeah, it's pretty cool to be able to kind of talk to these guys and kind of lead them along the way. Just to kind of just go over experiences. Not that I'm really teaching these guys anything new, but just to go over mentality and everything that comes with the big leagues that isn't pitching. I think that has a lot more to do with it than people think. I think a lot of pitching is just mentality. All these guys have the stuff to be here. It's just sticking around.
Steve Molesky, go ahead.
John, since the no-hitter, the added interviews, the attention, things tugging at you from a lot of different directions, what challenges has it provided as you get ready to pitch again?
It's funny. I was talking to my wife today, and it's been crazy, but it hasn't really set in still. I don't think we're really going to be able to look back at this until the off season, because I'm just so kind of locked into this season and locked into just getting ready every 5 days. All that it's cool. It really is. But I haven't really experienced it yet, mentally, emotionally. I'm just trying to pitch against the Mets tomorrow, maybe get a hit.
Nathan Ruiz, go ahead.
John, going off that, what's been the craziest part of these past few days? The craziest person who you've heard from? Just what experiences have you had over the last few days?
I mean, yeah, the ceremony was really cool. It's something I didn't really know was going to go on. I didn't know that that's what came with this, but it was so cool. I mean, Palmer's video before it was pretty special. I mean, the guy that's had as many accolades as he has had, and be the last one to throw the no-hitter, and for him to send me that video, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Joe Trezza, go ahead.
When you look ahead to tomorrow's start, is there a sense that like there's nowhere to go, up wise? Like how do you approach your first start after a no-hitter?
I was just happy that last start went well. That's kind of what I strive to. I just try to have a good start every 5 days. I don't really look at it as some big milestone and that was the peak of my mountain. I just try and stay as even keel as possible, and I just want to go out there and have another quality start and give my team a chance to win.
Mark Viviano, go ahead.
Hey, John, you touched on it briefly there about maybe being a mentor already at this point in your career. When you look at guys like Keegan Aiken, Zac Lowther, who've already been up and down this year alone, what can you share? What is important for you to let them know about the road you've been on that might help them?
I'm a big routine guy. I think that's one of the most important things that I was taught when I came up, and Andrew Kashner, when he was here, really ingrained in me is to keep that same routine every week, every start, do the same. It's not, eat the same meals or anything like that. It's not any eyewash like that, but it's more so your pregame prep, your pre-throw prep. And I'm really big on that. I'm trying to kind of bring that over for these guys to know. And I think that helps with mentality. I think that helps with keeping the same attitude when you go out there and throw baseball. And that's kind of the main reason I think that, I've stuck around and why guys have stuck around so long in this league.
Jerry Coleman, go ahead.
Hey, John, what was your reaction a couple of days later? Wade Miley tossed a no-hitter too. You thinking it's the year of the no-no?
Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty crazy. Former Oriole, also a lefty, and doing it. I mean, I think he threw 4 pitches over 90 miles an hour. Just so impressive by him, and it's crazy. Maybe we'll have more. I don't know, but it seems like I think we have 4 in the first 40 days already. So we'll see what happens. It's a long season though.
Joe Trezza, go ahead.
John, have you gone back and watched the game in its entirety, and do you have the tape?
I have not actually gone back and watched. I'm sure it's somewhere, and I have the video access. I don't have the tape per se, but I have the ability to go back and watch if I want to. I might, maybe, like I said, it might be an off-season thing to kind of go and relive that. But right now, I'm just focused on the Mets.
Luke Jones, go ahead.
John, along those lines, when you kind of think back to the celebration on the mound after you get the no-hitter, is it tough not to at least think about the future a little bit, about being able to do that with your team, perhaps in a postseason setting down the line?
That was such a cool feeling. And the guys that have been there before in the postseason, the Hyder especially was saying, that was a postseason feel. Like that was, you go in the locker room, it's a party, and everybody's just hugging each other and laughing and just having a good time. And he's like, that's what that feels like. And yeah, I definitely thought like, wow, that'd be really cool to not only go to the playoffs, but I mean, to not have to do anything the next day and win the World Series and it feel like that. But yeah, it wasn't quite that feel. Had to, get ready the next day and throw. But yeah, that was pretty cool.
We have time for one last question from Steve Molesky.
John, especially for the young pitchers moving forward against big power teams like Boston, New York, at teams you see in the East, what is the importance of pitching inside? Something you do well. Maybe it's hard for every guy to execute it to your level, but is that something that the young guys, especially on the Orioles, are going to really have to hone in to do well long-term against these teams?
Yeah, and that's I think one of the most difficult things for a young pitcher to learn, especially in this division, is to throw inside, because you see these big name guys, you see the Aaron Judges, the JD Martinez's, Xander Bogaerts, and you get a little tense going inside to those guys, especially when you're coming up. And it's just this little tension that makes the biggest difference of where the ball is going to end up. If it goes 6 inches left, it might be a homer. If it goes 6 inches further in, you might hit him. So it's just trusting your stuff at that point. And it kind of goes back to what I was saying about mentality. I think that's the biggest struggle with guys that can't throw in is mentality and belief.